Hello, I am Ruiz, and I'm coming to you live from future New York City, New York. This is the channel where we bring you all the old news today. We will be covering the Korean War, taking you to multiple locations and filling you in on what you need to know. Today is June 25th, 1950. The sun is in the sky, but unfortunately, it's not a very bright day for everyone. This day marks the initial invasion of South Korea by the North Koreans. Before the First Battle of Seoul on June 25th, 1950, in August 1945, the 38th parallel was established. This was a line drawn in the middle of Korea separating and establishing the Soviet and American side of the North and South Peninsula. Disclaimer, there has been a lot going on lately, and we have several stories for you today, and among them are several brutal and disturbing images. As a fair warning now, if you have a soft stomach, please leave. Thank you. Now I will transfer you over to Maddie, who is there in the aftermath of the battle now. She'll be giving us a little insight on what exactly went on at this battle.
Thank you, and I'm standing here in the aftermath, and it is horrific. The South Korean people didn't have a chance of survival. The Korean People's Army of North Korea, otherwise known as the KPA, used the blitzkrieg tactics that we're familiar with. It was also used by Hitler's attempts to dominate Europe. And the KPA used T-34 tanks and backup artillery to use in order to dominate the South Korean people. The reason their tanks worked so well was because the South Korean army had no methods of defense against the heavily armored moving vehicles. It was complete massacre due to the South Korean people destroying the Han Bridge, leaving hundreds of soldiers and refugees to die by the North Korean soldiers. These gruesome images before you happened in only 3 days. The North Korean soldiers took over North. That's all for you here. Over back to you, Ethan.
Thank you, Maddie. Now we skip ahead in history to give you all some more information on what went down during this brutal and violent war. Today is April 22nd, 1951. The Battle of Gapyeong began. This battle took place in Gapyeong Country, South Korea. And unfortunately, we have someone over in Gapyeong Country, South Korea, with some allies, allowing us to get a good look into what's going on in the midst of the battle. Savannah, could you tell us what's going on?
Thank you, Ethan. I'm over here now with General James Van Fleet, the commander of the U.S. 8th Army. He is here with me today because he doesn't want to be in front of the lines, so he won't be doing any talking, but he will stand here with us today while I give you the information. The battle at Gapyeong. In the battle, the Chinese Communist People Army fought against the United Nations. This battle took place during the Korean War, and the reason it is so important is because the perseverance of the 2nd Battalion of Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry, they helped prevent the potentially costly and devastating loss for South Korea and the United Nations, ending it on a note of heroism. Let's go back to Ethan.
Thank you, Savannah, for being there today. What an interesting battle, and what an interesting general. Now, time to go to our statistical advisor. With all the science and information behind some of the tactics and chemical advancements that were made during the Korean War. Riley?
Thank you, Ethan. I'm full of information and facts that I could talk about all day, but we only have time for so much, so I'll try to keep it short. One of the biggest and most disastrous advancements in the Korean War was the use of the chemical herbicide called Agent Orange. This is classified as a herbicide. This means that it's a toxic substance that is used in order to kill off unwanted carbon-based organisms, humans, plants, vegetation, etc. This was spread as chemical. This means that it was in the form of a chemical spray that the U.S. military used in war. The tactical reason they claimed for this lethal chemical was because they said it was to get rid of enemy vegetation in order to get rid of the cover. They were using it in order to catch them out in the open. However, the chemical itself had made many other lethal side effects, leading to people developing many different types of cancer. The metastasis of cancer throughout the body would also lead to multiple other possible disease and many other health issues. Okay, that's all for Agent Orange.
Thank you, Riley.
I said I was done with Agent Orange, not done at General. Anyways, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, That's all for Agent Orange. However, there are still more militaristic tactics that were used in the Korean War. One of them that we briefly mentioned before was blitzkrieg. This is when an enemy rushes in quickly and attempts to take over the land with brute force as swiftly as possible. This tactic worked so well for the North Korean army and was the demise for the South Korean troops, because the North Koreans had equipment that the South Koreans were unable to defend against. They brought T-34 tanks. These were Soviet-designed tanks that they were able to use given their alliance with the Soviet Union. The T-34 tanks were revolutionary for the time. They were a solid combination of firepower, mobility, and ruggedness. The South Koreans had nothing to defend against these massive metal brutes. Thanks for listening. That's the extent of depth I'll go into for the information today. Back over to you, Ethan.
Thank you all for tuning into the news today. Have a great rest of the day. This is Ethan Ruiz signing off, and we'll see you in the next video. Please remember to like and subscribe.